My name's Tom Broughton, I'm the founder of Cubitts. So we call ourselves the modern spectacle maker. We've been going for about 8.5 years now, and we have 10 now, including this, sites in London and 3 across the rest of the UK. This is our Cheapside store just by St Paul's, and this is a site that I kind of fell in love with 6 years ago, maybe even longer. It's a building that's from the sort of late 19th century, but it's a really, really prominent position that has a whole bunch of historical interests. So behind it is a tree, which happens to be the City of London's oldest tree. It's a plane tree. It's been there hundreds of years. It was written about by Wordsworth in poems. As a consequence, we really wanted to have the practice kind of celebrating that rich history. So as we started sort of peeling back the various layers, taking back the old signage, lifting up the floor, we discovered kind of a century of Cheapside and the city's history sort of buried beneath it. So everything from, we discovered an entire new basement, which is where our testing room is. We found all of the old signage when it was a company called L&R Wooderson, which we restored. We've tried to take all these little design references and incorporate them in the store as it is now. And this practice has a similar structure to our others in that there's 3 main areas. There's obviously the kind of main retail floor. Then we have an eye examination room. And then we have here, which is our consultation room, which is where we do things like bespoke consultations or more complicated clinical discussions. What we found is that since things started reopening over the last few months, and I think particularly since February, people are coming back. They are building confidence, and for a lot of people, they haven't had their regular eye exam for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And so we're finding a great deal of latent demand for both the clinical services, but also things like adjustment, repairs, reglazing, bespoke services. Because so many people have got so bored at looking at themselves on tiny little Zoom screens, I think a lot of people are acutely aware of the frame that's sitting in the middle of their face. We've had a really great period since then. I think March was our best ever month in our 8.5 year history, so positive signs afoot. Over the next sort of year or two, we just want to kind of continue on our trajectory, really. I mean, we're still not fully through the pandemic, and there's a whole bunch of other kind of macroeconomic and global constraints ahead, so we don't want to get carried away, but we just want to kind of keep nurturing Cubitts and open the right practices in the right locations. We don't want too many. We never want to compromise on quality and service. So the idea is just carry on with this trajectory and hopefully add a couple more beautiful practices to the portfolio.